Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in and welcome to my channel. I wanted to share with you all everything that I did to make some dessert empanadas. So stay tuned if you all would like to see everything that I did to make those empanadas. Just starting off with all the ingredients that I'm using on my empanadas. As you all can see, the avocado oil, canola oil, cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla flavoring, peach pie filling, apple pie filling, empanadas, and butter were used. I also added in sugar. So I already have my peaches as well as my apples in a pot so that they can boil, along with a little bit of butter, cinnamon. Yep, so there's the ground nutmeg that I am just shaking into each separate pot so that I can get those, like I said, ready to boil. Now I'm adding in my cinnamon here into each pot. You guys forgive me, I was not using my tripod at first and just doing this with one hand. I'm so guilty of that. Alright, now I'm just gonna add in my vanilla flavor. Oh my gosh, you guys, I almost dropped it. Just doing the same for each pot. The back one in the small little pot is apples, and then the peaches is in the front. Just adding a little sugar to each of the pots as well. I don't recommend adding too much sugar because the filling is already sweet. So I'm just gonna do my best to stir these around with my one hand that I have free. So just stirring around the apple mixture. And yeah, my temperature is on number 4 on my oven. Just stirring the apples, and then I'm going to switch out spoons and then go ahead and begin to stir the peach mixture with the butter, cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar. And I did add also a little water to each of these boiling pots, like off camera, because you never want your paste or filling to be so thick that it, begins to stick. I'm going to turn up my temperature to 7 for each of the eyes, just so they can go ahead and start to boil. The apples was already starting to slowly boil, but like I said, I wanted to make sure I went ahead and turned it up a notch. This peaches hadn't started boiling yet, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my covers on each of these pots. So here we just have the boiling continuing on with the apples as well as the peaches. Just going to really bring those to a very nice heavy boil to make sure they're nice and soft before, we get ready to add them to our empanada mix. Just stirring it here so that nothing is sticking, at the bottom. But like I said, adding a little bit of that water really helps. Please excuse the background noise here. I'm just opening up, taking the lid off my apples so that I can go ahead and give them a good stir as well, just like I did the peaches. Just want to make sure that nothing is sticking at the bottom. So. And here I'm just turning my temperature from 7 on each of these eyes down to 5 or medium temperature. So for today, I am using this omelet maker. It did say you can make turnovers in it. And it did get the job done, as you all will see throughout this video. But probably next time that I make these, I'm probably going to just make them on the skillet in some oil. Here are the empanada dough disc that I have. So 10 disc Goya brand. So for my butter, I'm just using some of this Kerrygold pure Irish butter that I'll be using to melt down and put on my empanada disc. So here I am just cutting my butter up into some kind of flat chunks. And then I'm just gonna put those chunks in my cute little bowl here. And yeah, once I get everything cut up, you guys will see next that I'm just going to put it in the microwave so it can get melted down very nicely. Alrighty, I'm here at my microwave, just getting it opened up so I can go ahead and put my butter bowl into the microwave and get that melted down. And so I am just gonna go ahead and put a total time of 45 seconds on this butter, and that should get it, melted down pretty nicely. So my butter is all melted and good to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that taken out of the microwave. And you guys, go ahead and take a look at just this buttery goodness. I love looking at melted butter. I don't care if it's weird. I do. Satisfying. So now I'm back here at my little prep station. I've already taken some avocado oil and just oiled the bottom of my little Amazon baking mat. So I'm just going to put my empanada disc onto that light layer of avocado oil that I have on my baking mat. Now I'm just picking up my basting brush and I'm going to dip it into that melted butter and go ahead and butter my empanadas. I would recommend, if you're going to do oil on your baking mat, you don't necessarily have to do butter as well. Because I also sprayed the omelet maker with spray as well. So just whatever you do, just make sure that your dough or breading is not totally dry. But whether you use butter, a little bit of oil, or just the spray, just want to make sure that your dough is not totally dry is the end goal. And now I'm just going to take each of these discs and flip them over. And then you're going to see me add some filling to these. So we're starting off with our peaches. That's the ones we're going to fill first. Next, I have my apples, and so I'm going to go ahead and add those apples onto those discs. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the process of folding over each of the empanadas. So first, just starting with the peach. As you guys can tell, I am stretching it a little bit because I'm trying to do my best to keep the filling in there. You can put as much filling in yours as you would like, but obviously the more filling you put and the smaller your little disc is, that would potentially cause it to overflow. And because I was trying to go ahead and fix these in my omelet maker, I had to make them, the size of that. If you're just doing it in a regular frying pan, you can make them as small or big as you would like. Combine, empanadas 2 into 1 to make it just a bigger dough, and it doesn't have to be the perfect shape. But however you would like to do it. I am just also going ahead and adding fork marks to seal these empanadas, shut, so that they'll be ready for cooking. I have my omelet maker already out, and it is plugged in. I haven't sprayed anything in it because, as you guys know, if you spray in the little warmer, it'll like burn the spray, and then your items be like super dark. All right, so now we're ready for action. Just have some canola oil spray, and I'm just spraying a light amount of this into my omelet maker. Now it's time to go ahead and add the empanadas in. This could be a little tricky if it doesn't fall just right, how like that one just did. If they accidentally kind of fall in crooked, geez, you can almost tear it up trying to get it to go in, correctly. But anywho, like that one, I accidentally laid it in crooked, so I was having to like work it out. So now my empanadas are in I keep calling it an omelet maker because that's what it is, but they're there. And so I just have paper towels, excuse a little oil spill, but I just have some paper towels on a plate ready to go for once they finish. So here I am just checking on the empanadas just to see how they're progressing. I have a couple of different spatulas to help me lift them out. It is a lot of oil, so maybe perhaps if I fix these again the next time, I won't use that light layer of olive oil. Maybe I'll just, use the canola oil spray, just in the fryer. So my husband's here helping me to get them flipped over. So I'm just going to let these continue to cook for a few more minutes. Honestly, it's just when you check them and you feel like, they're at a point of satisfaction for you. I really don't even have a specific time. This is my first time doing these. So, just kind of keep checking them till you feel like the crust is, the empanada crust is done on the outside. You can also just continue to keep flipping them as needed, again, until you feel satisfied with the brownness of the crust on the outside. So my apple empanadas are finished now. They're brown to my satisfaction. So here I am just taking these and putting these on my little paper towel where I have my little apple and peach labels on, and I'm just trying not to burn my hand and bust up the empanada and cause the filling to come out. But yeah, I got those out successfully, and so of course I'll be going ahead and then moving on to the next empanadas. Just got to keep it going. So again, this is a little tricky, trying to not bust up the dough and cause the filling to come out. But now I'm just putting my 2 peach empanadas into my omelet maker. As you can see, it slipped out of my hand. So I just put it back down. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray some spray, and I'm just picking this up, and I'm going to carefully place it into my omelet maker here. Just doing some avocado oil, a little bit on my mat again, just for the second batch. Honestly, like I said, if I was to fix these again, I honestly would just skip this step, because I feel like the canola spray in the omelet maker is going to be enough coating and it will help the empanadas not take so long to get browned. But nevertheless, so my husband was asking what was I going to do with that butter wash. When I told him I was going to lightly coat the empanadas with the butter wash as well, he was like, yeah, that may be too much. But I was already on the path at that point. He was like, so just carry on. So as you all can see, just repeating my steps with the Goya empanadas, just taking some more and putting the empanada disc down on my avocado oil. Just, taking care to not tear up the empanada dough. This time I'm trying something a little different. I'm going to take 2 layers of the empanada dough and I'm going to press them together just to make an even thicker crust, just so that I don't have to waste any of the empanada dough. And yeah, I would just prefer to have thicker crust. The apple ones are for my husband. He wanted thinner crust, and the peach ones are for me, and I wanted thicker crust. So that's what you all see me doing here. It's just, like I said, doubling up on the empanada dough. So repeating the same steps I did before, I'm just adding some of my butter wash to my empanada dough. It's just going to assist with the flavor, and also it's just another layer to help keep the dough from sticking, in the omelet maker. Now that I've added my butter, I'm just going to flip each of the empanada disc over so I can go ahead and get ready to start with putting the filling into the crust. So now my husband has expressed that he would actually like to have one of the empanadas with a thicker dough. So now I'm just adding some of the apple mixture to one of my empanada discs. At this time for my husband. I don't want to put too much filling, but I also want it to be kind of hearty. Now I'm just proceeding forward with getting some of my peach mixture so that I can also go ahead and add that to another one of the empanada disc. At this point, I'm just checking these turnovers in batch number 2 just to see if they need to cook a little longer. It does look like the bottom does need to cook a little longer, so I'm just going to put that back down on the grill side, and I'm just checking the other one. And yeah, we're going to let these cook a little longer because you don't want your dough to be transparent. You want it, to be browned and a little more solid color looking, not translucent. Batch number 2 is done, so here I am. I'm just taking the empanadas and I'm just putting them here over on the napkin so I can get ready for batch number 3. So last batch, here are the ones that are my double layered crust. So I'm just getting those folded up really nicely, trying to stretch them out a little bit, so that I'm giving the filling, room to be in there without, running over. But yeah, looks like the apple one is way too stuffed, so it's gonna run over. But yeah, so just continuing to use the fork and go ahead and apply the little crease marks to seal off the empanada. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the footage here, just to help the video move along. Pretty much repeating my steps as I've done before and just working on batch number 3. So here are my empanadas. Did 3 apple and 3 peach. Here's how they're looking. Very little translucency in the crust. Just have them nice and brown without making them totally burnt. So I decided to get 1 apple and 1 peach empanada. I paired them with some vanilla bean ice cream, Great Value brand. And so here's how it's looking, you guys. I really enjoyed making this dessert. My husband did suggest that, maybe the next time I make these, I could use some of just the regular like Pillsbury crust and not the empanada dough. As you all know, empanadas have a very distinct taste to them. But yeah, that's just a look of some of the empanadas broken in half. And just like I said, I definitely ate some of the crust, but I love just getting the apple and peach pie filling and pairing it with the ice cream and small pieces of crust. That was really good. But yeah, you guys, thanks so much for watching how I make my empanadas. I'm definitely not a professional or a chef. I'm just someone who is cooking and enjoying food from home. Please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more cooking videos and hauls and things like that I upload. If you try this recipe, please comment down below and let me know how it turned out for you and if you made any substitutions. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching and tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, and I love you guys wherever you are. Bye.